Oh, hey there. Well, not great. I can tell you that much. Yeah, they said I broke my leg and like half my ribs, plus some internal bleeding, but they already did surgery to fix up my insides. Besides, that's where the blood's supposed to be. I know, I'm joking. I got hit by a bus. I didn't get shot or anything. It was an accident, I swear. I just walked onto the street and then I woke up in a hospital bed. Didn't even feel pain in the moment. They've got great doctors here too, so I'm in good hands. Right. I called you here. So since I got hit by a bus, I've kind of been like rethinking things. Which makes you, go past all sorts of subjects. So, for example, I've been thinking about love and the people I enjoy being with. No, I swear I'm not depressed or anything. It was an accident. I already said that, but like I didn't walk into the street intentionally. I was not paying attention to traffic. It's my own fault if anybody's to blame. Well, I was listening to music on my headphones and thinking about that upcoming concert. I was gonna ask someone to join me, but I don't think I can even go myself now. So, going to have to give those tickets away. Kind of a shame, but there's not much I can do about it. I can't undo getting hit by a bus and go to the concert anyways. But what I called you in for is no, not ketamine, morphine, actually. They don't use ketamine as a way to relieve pain in humans most of the time. It's only for special situations. No, I just get regular old morphine, which is, still morphine. The bleeding was in my lungs and my stomach, but they closed the bleeds. Hey, I know you're in med school. This is all terribly interesting for you, but I didn't exactly call you in here for a second opinion. Can we, stay on topic? Right, yes. Didn't establish the topic yet because you haven't given me a chance to say it. I'm just gonna, blurt it out, and then you can respond however you like, okay? Great. So the reason I asked you to get in here is because I'm in love with you. I want to go on a date with you. Before you say anything about trauma or something, they checked. I don't have a concussion, and I know I felt this way before the bus slammed into me. I was just looking for a good moment to tell you, but then I realized that a good moment had to fit so many mental criteria that the only way it was going to happen was like 1 in a trillion luck. So I decided to just bite the bullet. Worst thing you can say in return is, I don't, right? Well, glad to hear you like me too. So, what do we do now? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that far ahead. Kind of got absorbed in the whole I'm just gonna say it thing and didn't consider anything after that. Do we just start planning a date or do we start planning a wedding? I'm kidding, obviously. No, we're not immediately getting married, but you bet your ass I'll make you mine if you give me the chance. Then we'll go on a date as soon as I get out of here. And that's a promise. Great. You can stay and sit by the bed if you want. Oh, hey there. Welcome home. How was work? Oh, not much special on my end. Although I'm sad to hear that work wasn't good. Is there anything I can do for you, my love? Maybe some back rubs? Or a cozy nap together before dinner? I know you always like to unwind with a little bit of sleep if your day has been particularly rough. So if there's something I can do to help, then please don't be afraid to ask. Why are you staring like that, dear? What I'm wearing? I just threw something on, why do you ask? Really? I thought this was my sweater. I've had it longer than we've been together, if I remember correctly. I can't have stolen it if it was always mine to begin with. Well, maybe we just had a very similar sweater. You can't possibly know what sweaters I had before we started dating, and if we had an identical pair, that explains why it seems like I might possibly be wearing your sweater. Well, what if I told you I felt cute wearing it? What would you say then? Maybe that I really, really did try to take off your sweater, but it felt way too cute, and when I went to change, I saw myself in the mirror and I felt like it was just so nice to wear. And I kind of felt playful, so maybe I kind of wanted you to know that I like wearing your sweater. Well, that's all hypothetical, of course. I didn't say any of that was true. All I can tell you is that there may or may not be a direct link between me wanting to wear this sweater and me loving you and your smell and the things you wear and, all of those things. That is indeed the question, isn't it? Maybe the more I love you, the more I want to wear it. Maybe the more I love you, the less I want to wear it. Maybe it's the less I love you, the more I want to wear it. Or maybe the less I love you, the less I want to wear it. I'm kind of confusing myself at this point, but I swear I was going somewhere with that train of thought. Oh. That is an excellent argument as well. But maybe I need a little more time to think about that argument to really appreciate that. I love you. You know that, right? Good. Because I never want you to forget that. Also, I can see that smirk on your face. And I think that counts as a smile. So if anything, it's a good thing that I put on your sweater because it managed to cheer you up very quickly. What? Me? I didn't admit to anything. I am an innocent party being unfairly judged on... Okay, if you're going to start counting, I'm going to start running. Didn't know it was that important of a sweater to you. Okay, that's 7. I'm going to go now. Let's see. So, what type of appointment do you need? And when do you think you'd be available for that? Well, the CEO and the board both have very busy schedules, so I need to cross-reference them with your own calendar if we want to make an appointment of any kind. Just name a date and we'll see if we can get something set up, okay? I'm very sure that they'll be enthusiastic if they actually see your presentation. From what I've heard about you, it's surely going to be an amazing thing that will blow them away. The only problem is getting you in a room with all of them at once, which is going to be harder said than done. Now, if you'd please, what days would you be able to make it here for a meeting? It seems the CEO has an appointment scheduled that morning, although the board is free. It says important stuff. No, that's not a joke. Look at my monitor. It literally lists in the description of the appointment, important stuff, do not disturb. I'm not sure what that means, but on account of me wanting to keep my job, I can't plan your meeting then. I hope you understand that much. Wonderful. When's the next option? Yeah, it already seems like there's a meeting for the board at that moment, so they won't be available by then. I'm sorry, I'm quite aware that the date you named is 3 months from now, but I'm not the one who plans these meetings. I'm simply looking at their agendas and it says they're unavailable. I can't really help it. In all honesty, I don't even think they're probably available for a full week for the next half a year. This isn't even counting emergency meetings, which might pop up in case of, well, an emergency. So, in all honesty, I don't think there's going to be an easy way to get you in a room with all of them at once. Let's see. Well, if you can manage to get that appointment out of your own schedule and the board and the CEO all agree to adding some time to the meeting on that day, I could probably get you in that room, but there's no really guarantees. They're all very busy, and some of them have families that they genuinely love. As much as this company is praised for its employees having a great work-life balance, it kind of falls apart on availability because of it. If you're at home having fun with your kids, you can't be in a meeting at the same time. So as much as everyone agrees that it's a good thing, it can often be frustrating in moments like this because, well, we simply can't make meetings work as easily as other companies our size. Thank you for understanding. Here's what. I'm going to call the people who make the schedule for the board and the CEO. I'll ask if we can get this sorted. Just go ahead and wait for a moment. I'll be right back, and we'll have this sorted in no time. No. I promise I will get you that meeting. I'm absolutely certain I can make it work with enough effort. Just wait here, and I will be right back. Hi. This is really weird and a little bit awkward. But I'm your neighbor, and I came to ask if you have a spare key to my apartment by any chance. Yeah, I kind of locked myself out. So I'm stuck here, and I don't know if there's even like a locksmith nearby. So I figured I'd ask if you have a spare key from the last owners or something. I know. I should have changed the locks when I moved in. I'm just procrastinating on that a little bit because I know that I'm supposed to do it, but I'm always busy. Then I get home and I'm just so tired that all I want to do is crash on my couch and watch TV. But then there's all these things I need to do. It's just such a high stress life nowadays. But do you have any way to get into my house? Because I would really appreciate it if you did. Not that I'd not appreciate it if you didn't, because you can't exactly help it, but you know what I mean, right? I'm probably just overthinking this again. Oh, you really don't have to. I can call the locksmith myself if I need to. I was just checking to see, you know? Well, to be honest, I would actually love some tea. It's been a really stressful day at work, more so than most days are. Now I've locked myself out too, and I didn't even notice it, so I'm really very much in need of some relaxation. If you've got some that you genuinely want to share with me, I would not object at all. Thank you so much. I already explained. Not a great day. Really thought that when I got a place of my own and a promotion that I'd had a bit of a calmer life, you know. No roommates to worry about, my own house, my own rules, all that kind of stuff. But all I really got was the ability to move all my furniture in any position I want without anyone complaining and a little bit more privacy. The stress from work is the same, if not more. And I still have to get used to where I put everything, and I'm sorry. I've just been rambling at you all this time and I haven't even introduced myself properly, have I? Okay, well, let's take it from the top. Hi, I'm your new neighbor. I've been living here for like 2 weeks now, and I've seen you walk around your own house for a few times. You seem like a very kind person, and the previous owners of the house I live in really praised the neighbor, and I can only assume they meant you. Oh, they said a lot of different things. Helpful, kind, sweet, and all that kind of stuff. Wasn't one of the biggest reasons I chose a place, but it was definitely a factor. I mean, you could have the best house out there, but if you have terrible neighbors, they can still make you suffer. So I'm glad you're like a good neighbor. Oh, I work an office job for a convenience store chain, like administration, organization, that kind of stuff. I recently got promoted to lead a little team that's in charge of a section of the country and getting all the right items to the stores. But it's a little, I don't know, stressful with all these deadlines and managers weighing me down, and the system functions like just well enough to not break every hour. I think I've had to call IT like 5 times in the last 3 days to fix my problems with the software. It is torture, but I do enjoy it. The pay is good and my coworkers are great. Right, I almost forgot. I'm still locked out of my house. Right. Let's say you go get that tea you offered and I'll call the locksmith myself. We can get to know each other over tea while we wait for them, if that's all right with you. Well, yeah, of course I'd love to get to know you. You're already so kind to me and I'm just dying to know more about you. But first, locksmith. Gotta get into my house. I figured it out! Okay, sorry. That was a little too rough with the door. Didn't mean to slam it that hard. But I figured it out. Okay. So, remember how I kept feeling like something bad was going to go down today? Like I couldn't put words to it, but I knew something was wrong and the others did too. Well, I figured out what was wrong. And I'm not sure if it means anything, but I do think it's really cool. So, the thing we were all feeling, that weirdness, like something was missing, there was no wind. There was absolutely no wind. Not even a little breeze, not a single hair swayed in the air. I don't know how that can happen. I don't know if it means like, all I know is that there was no wind at all, which is like a meteorological marvel. It's like almost impossible for there to be genuinely no wind at all unless you're right in the eye of a storm, which might have something to do with it. Maybe like the human race has learned about the safety in the eye of the storm on a like instinctual level at some point. It could be like an ancient detection system, just like how you still get scared easily in the dark, even though the threat is most likely non-existent. Yes, I know I'm a nerd. You're a nerd too, otherwise we wouldn't be flatmates. Well, it wasn't on the requirements sheet, but it would have looked very weird to say, need a roommate, requirements, have enough money to pay rent, be willing to clean, be up to date on the building's rules, and also be a nerd interested in the same things as me. Like, that's not going to make a lot of people try for the apartment, but as you know, I insisted on talking with you for a bit before we talked actual details on the apartment. That wasn't because I wanted to hold you up or anything, but purely because I wanted to see what you were like. Do you really enjoy the idea of living in a flat with someone who's constantly annoying you without knowing it? Or worse, someone who you mutually ignore? Like, great, you got a flatmate. There's a stranger living with you and you never talk to them, with them, or their friends. You don't know what they're doing. Nothing. Wouldn't that be like creepy? Anyways, it's amazing to me. Like, how did that even happen? In no way does it make sense for there to be no wind. It's like creepy. The best explanation I have is that we were in the middle of some temporary perfect equilibrium. Just pure luck on the fact that there was no high pressure or low pressure, just equal pressure everywhere. Yeah, I know, wind is hard to explain. I would love to talk about it more, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush since I gotta go to work soon, but I swear I'll explain it when I get back. I have told you before, and I will tell you again, I have a wide array of knowledge about specific things, but it doesn't go very deep below the surface. Approximate knowledge on many things. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work. You just keep doing whatever you're doing. I'm sure you're having a great day till I blast down your door. See you later. Oh, hey there. Oh, I just have some groceries in this bag, nothing much. What do you mean? It's just a duffel bag. It's very useful to carry around a lot of stuff. Like, you know, groceries. The reason I have a big black duffel bag is because I needed a big bag to carry lots of stuff in. So I bought one. Not too complex. Aw, don't worry about it, okay? It's a perfectly normal thing to own. That is not at all suspicious. It's just a bag. Don't think about it too hard. Well, I mean, if I wanted to, I could say that the reason I needed a big bag to carry so much stuff is because I needed to move some less than legal items without anyone knowing what I was doing. But that would probably worry you more than is necessary. Especially if I told you that those less than legal items included weapons and deceased body parts and a lot of cash. But again, that'd probably just serve to make you more worried. And that's exactly what I'm trying to prevent, remember? Besides, it's not like I'd ever need to actually move weapons and body parts. I'm just messing with you, remember? I mean, if we're just exploring this little fantasy story that might worry you, why not even go further? Why not say that the reasons I was moving weapons and body parts is all about you? That I bought weapons, buried bodies, most of all killed people, all for you. Because I want to have you. Like how you'd want to have a partner, but also kind of like how you'd want to have a pet. The possessiveness, the jealousy. Maybe someone grazed your skin with their arm and got it broken because of it. Broken beneath a steel pipe. Very satisfying crunch. I imagine, anyways. Could you imagine? Me, your best friend who's always been by your side whenever you need me. Secretly being psycho. Being so obsessed with you that I'd kill for you. Me, your totally platonic bestie that has never wanted this relationship to be anything other than what it is now. Just the best of friends. Wouldn't that be worrying? Wouldn't that make you rethink just about everything? Everything I ever did for you, with you, without you. It'd all be painted in a new light. All because I said one little thing. No. But really, I got this back for that one school camping trip. You remember that, right? I used to carry all my stuff around at once. Kind of heavy, but convenient. All my stuff was in one place, rather than having to search 3 bags like that one girl. What was her name again? Billy. I wonder what happened to her. Haven't heard from her in years. Weren't you two just peas in a pod that summer? She's probably fine, living out her life somewhere. There's no reason to assume anything bad happened to her. Nothing to worry about, right? Today on ASMR Reports, scientists shocked at the discovery of the Philosopher's Stone. As it turns out, this ancient, legendary substance, sought after by hundreds, if not thousands of alchemists, which was thought to be impossible to create, has actually been created. Now, to tell all you listeners at home the significance of this discovery, we need to explain all about the Philosopher's Stone. Some of you may already know this, others may not. In any case, the Philosopher's Stone was a theorized alchemical component that would supposedly have the ability to turn base metals, not just lead, but also iron, mercury, and other such metals, into gold or silver. In addition, it was also seen as a way to rejuvenate one's body and achieve immortality. It has existed in many forms across many mythos, but those main components usually stayed the same. To craft a Philosopher's Stone is often seen as an alchemist's absolute goal, the same way one would say medical science's absolute goal nowadays is to cure cancer or rid the world of diseases entirely. Although the traits of this substance might seem mystical and impossible to achieve with real science, it turns out that it's not as impossible as one might think. After reviewing notes that were anonymously donated to a major chemical laboratory, it was theorized that a Philosopher's Stone could indeed be constructed. Unfortunately, it seems that the immortality-granting effects of the substance aren't as easy to achieve. But in the meantime, this wonderful liquid is beginning to turn every non-precious metal it comes into contact with into either gold or silver. Now, although one might think that this majorly changes the way we think about the world, or that this discovery could lead to the creation of true immortality, we also have the unfortunate news that the solution, the notes that sparked the project, and all documentation about the project have been purchased by a mysterious company called Flamel Incorporated. The main products that this company sells are gold and silver, which likely means that the most this discovery will be allowed to change is the prices of gold and silver, which will most likely drop due to an increase in demand. Good news though, golden rings for marriage, or any type of golden or silver jewelry at all, is about to get a lot cheaper, experts say. In any case, the scientific community is shocked both at the newly made discovery and the speed at which all evidence of it has been erased from all official channels. Other alchemical labs have already begun to draw funds in order to see if there's any way they can recreate the results of these labs based off of the little information they have. But one thing is for certain. This discovery has many, many implications. While we could talk about it in a lot more details, unfortunately, we too have almost no information to go off of. All we know is that the Philosopher's Stone was indeed discovered, publicized, and then taken down almost immediately within 12 minutes of publication. Thank you all for listening to this report. Even though it was short, its long-term effects could be massive, perhaps indicating a new movement of classical alchemists armed with the modern knowledge of chemistry, all in search of that one perfect goal once more, the discovery of the Philosopher's Stone. Only time will tell. Welcome. So, what's your name and what are you bringing into me today? Huh, that is very interesting. Before I start checking anything, I can definitely tell you that if this is indeed the favorite box of Schrodinger's cat, this box could be worth north of 100 grand if sold to the right buyer. Some collectors are absolutely obsessed with old science related items, and one of a kind piece like that would certainly attract a lot of attention. Before I put a possible price tag onto it, I of course need to see the item and is in fact genuine or simply a random box. Do you have any form of certificate or any formal way to prove this box is what you say it is? Huh. Well, that doesn't help you. But I do happen to remember that there's a museum out there that stores like correspondence between Schrodinger and his best friend, in which he does discuss the cat. If there's a description of the box somewhere in those letters, we could see if the physical description matches. Obviously, its age does also come into play. If it's been made within the last few years, there's no way it could have belonged to Schrodinger. So, while I check, how did this box fall into your hands? Family, friends, thrift store, gift from a collector? That's interesting. And this aunt told you it was valuable enough for you to get your life on the road once you were older, Well, all I can do is try and help make that prediction come true. So, just from looking at the box, the wood does seem like it's naturally aged, and the paint coating it seems in tune with the time period in 1935. They use different types of paint than we do nowadays, but purely from a visual inspection, it does seem to line up pretty well. Oh, what's this? Looks to me like a small patch of fur. It's a big hint that it could indeed be genuine. Could you please give me some time to look up those letters I mentioned? I promise to be back quickly. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a bit. I'm back, and with some very good news. The letters do indeed discuss a cat, and also give some description of Schrodinger buying a box, which the cat quote sits in all the time. Now, according to the letter I read, written and sent by Schrodinger himself, the box in question was small, painted green, with a collection of blue flowers, each with a small yellow core. The box has a small layer of lead in the middle to reinforce it. It does seem that this box does fit the description. Now, I need to run some more involved tests since visual inspection alone can't completely confirm its authenticity. But if this is indeed genuinely the box mentioned in the letter, looking at the condition it's in, it seems like it'd be worth more than I originally thought. Somewhere around $250,000 is not anywhere out of the question. And I do believe that this is a moment deserving of champagne. This item is worth at least a small fortune, and if you truly want to get your life on the road, I suppose you should seriously thank your aunt. No, I'm not joking. If you don't want the cameras to record your reaction, we can shut them off. But yes, you did indeed get a $250,000 gift from your aunt. There's no need to thank me. In all honesty, I should be congratulating you. Well, consider this me congratulating you. I do hope you make good use of it. Although, as I said before, the visual inspection isn't quite enough to truly prove its value. Do you consent to more inspections? Wonderful. We'll get started as soon as possible. But for now, champagne. Shh. It's okay, hero. It's alright. There is nothing you can do anymore. No responsibilities to be had. No amount of power that can stop it anymore. You've done all you can. There's no need to feel guilty about it. In fact, you should be proud. I know. The world will be plunged into chaos. I won. But that doesn't mean that your actions aren't commendable. You did everything you could, everything to even slow me down a little bit. But this, my victory, it was inevitable. I was always going to win no matter what happened. But you did well. You're the hero of your people, the savior of Earth. Everyone was counting on you to do whatever you could, to fight every fight for them, to protect them, to be their guardian angel. But even you can't do everything at once. They all assumed you were almighty, but nobody can protect all of humanity on their own. Not even you, my dear, no matter how powerful you are. Why? Well, not sure you're going to be satisfied with the real answer. Why on earth would anyone want to summon an endless number of demons? Why on earth would someone want to create worldwide chaos? Why would anyone ever want to destroy the planet they ever lived on? Well, if this was a movie, probably say that I just wanted to watch the world burn. But that's not it. Real reason is I'm getting bored. You never did figure out what my power is, huh? Let me explain. I have two simple powers. The rest is all training and learning. All the magic, all the physical power, that's all just a side effect. The simple fact is that I am completely immortal, and I can turn back time. See, that explains it, doesn't it? How I always knew where you'd be. How I always knew what you were going to do before you did it. How I could always simply dismiss you during fights. Nobody is a threat if you know exactly what they're going to do before they do it. You can plan around it. You can use it to your advantage. It's a fun little game to me. I can't die. Done everything there is to do. I know if stocks will go up or down in advance because I've seen it happen before. I can create money out of thin air that way. I'll never run out of power, out of funding, out of time. But you always do. This isn't the first time we've been here, you know. It's a game for me at this point. I know everything you can do. I go back to before we met, I make a new plan. Summon demons this time. Last time I turned the moon into a laser. Next time, I might poison the entire ocean. I'm not sure yet. But what I can tell you is that you will never win. I'm the unwilling god of this world. Yes, I've already tried to end it. But unfortunately, immortality can't be reversed. So all I do now is play this game endlessly. I end the world, then I try in a different way. Maybe when I run out of exciting ways to amuse myself battling you, I'll simply wait for a new hero to come into being. Start the whole thing over again. Oh, hero. What is a human life worth if you can simply bring it back after it's over? I can try endlessly. I've been the hero, it got boring. Now I'm the villain. And it's not boring yet. But it might become boring again. And then I'll find a new way to amuse myself. I'm sorry to say it, but yes, nothing you did really mattered. This world would have fallen back to chaos and demons either way. But it also isn't permanent. We're going back a bit now, okay? Just far enough so I can do something new. Oh, I've already tried dating you. How else would I know your identity? Anyways, I'll see you about 5 years ago. Toodles. Hey, I have a little question for you. Or, well, a bit more than that. Mostly, I just need to know if you have a moment. I need to talk with you. And I even booked a conference room for it. I mean, I wasn't sure if you'd have the time, but you usually could make some space in your schedule, so... Oh, great. Thanks so much. So all we're going to do is head to conference room 3 and we'll talk there, okay? Well, the reason we're going to talk there and not here is because I don't have a projector or a wall for my presentation of the diagrams. Anyways, just follow me right here, through the door, and have a seat. Just pick a seat, it doesn't really matter. Though the closer to me, the nicer. Not that you have to feel obligated. So, here's the presentation I prepared. See this diagram? That line over there is you, that line down there is me. As you can see, we interact with each other a lot. Now, this is already known to you, but what you don't know is that I've been doing research into the kinds of people you are and are not attracted to. Thus, I've been able to construct this little infograph. On the left side is your desired traits in a partner, and on the right side, my own desired traits. The column beneath that, as you can obviously see as well, there are the traits each of us have. Levels of loyalty, extrovertedness, and introvertedness, outside or inside person, everything is accounted for. Now, with all of these data points that I've collected about myself and of you, plus the fact that on the previous diagram, it's obvious that we interact pretty regularly, it's fair to say that we are drawn to each other at least a slight degree. Here's my proposal. In order to find out if this connection and this great overlap in our traits and desired traits and partners could lead to a healthy, stable relationship, we would have to first go on a date. Then maybe a few more before finally entering an official relationship, which leads to a conclusion on whether or not this relationship is meant to be or not. Now, we can also, of course, ignore this potential relationship, but the sheer number of desired partner traits off my own list that you possess make this difficult for me to do. In conclusion, I think we'd make a cute couple together, and I really, really want to go on a date with you. I didn't know how to tell you because we're mostly just like work friends, and I really, really want this to be more than that. So, if you're free tonight at 6, I'd love to take you to dinner with me. I know this great little Italian place a few blocks away. We can walk together there from the office building. But if you don't want to, then that's okay. I can live with it. And if you just tell me you don't want it, but at least it's out in the open now, and I want more than just work friends. And now it's your choice to take me up on it or not. Yeah, I know. Bit of a mouthful. Do you want to go on a date with me or not? Welcome, everyone. As we all know, today's field trip is to the headquarters of the YPA, or the Yandere Protection Agency. Although it's a private agency, it's grown to the size of a governmental agency, with its own official area of influence, technically being restricted to the countries it has bureaus in, although most other nations do accept their agents as fully authorized operatives, due to the violent and rampant nature of the Yanderes. The headquarters are mostly an office space where the YPA can organize their efforts, although there are also training rooms and actual yanderes present here in detention. Of course, yanderes, as classified by the YPA themselves, are people who are mentally impaired in a specific way, which makes their definition of love more akin to obsession. Yanderes often suffer from other personality disorders, and commonly speaking, they quickly develop sociopathic and even psychopathic tendencies. Their particular acts of love take the form of kidnapping, physical and mental abuse, as well as assault, second and first degree murder, blackmail, intimidation, and many other criminal activities. It can be difficult for standard police forces to find a pattern between victims of yandere, so they are often chosen as victims due to minor slights, such as looking at the yandere's primary obsession, flirting with them, and other acts that might cause the yandere to think they are looking to engage in a relationship with their obsessive loved one. As a result, most homicide units might not be able to find the link between murder victims, while the YPA, who specialize in tracking down yanderes, will usually find the yandere's target very quickly and perhaps be able to save both the yandere's target and detain the yandere. All these factors combined make the YPA the world's primary tool for dealing with yanderes and everything caused by and concerning yanderes. Now, before we head inside, I'm going to tell you the plan and the rules. The plan is to first head to one of the presentation rooms where we will meet with an active agent of the YPA. You'll all be allowed to ask the agent questions, and they'll give a short presentation about the history of the YPA before we move on to the cell blocks. We'll be meeting with one of the nearly recovered yanderes within the YPA's recovery program. Once we're done there, we'll get an additional hour where we get explained how the YPA deals with confirmed yanderes, and after that, we'll be going back to the bus and back to the academy. The rules are very important before we go into this place. The agents of the YPA are very vigilant, and thus you should be careful not to stare at each other for too long. Preferably look at something else every 5 seconds or so, unless you're instructed to look at something. Bags should be deposited at a locker. Any metals or sharp objects should be dropped in the box by the check-in counter and can be retrieved on our way out. This includes things like credit cards, as well as certain skilled yanderes could still use these to escape or as weapons. Finally, please stay with the group. Do not wander the halls, as this can be dangerous. Okay, so does everyone understand, agree with everything I just said? If there's anything you seriously don't agree with or don't understand, please tell me. I can explain in further detail. Wonderful. Then let's start our field trip. We'll be back at the academy in about 7 hours from now, but I hope you all have fun. Please enter through the sliding doors in single file and go to the lockers on the right side to deposit anything you need to drop off. Then head through the metal detectors. After that, just wait for the entire group to get through and I'll guide us through the headquarters to meet that agent. Hi there. Sorry about all this. My dad kind of insisted. I know that you don't really know who I am, and you might have been scared into all this. But don't worry. Nobody is here to hurt you. I know that it seems weird getting kidnapped off the streets and taken to a wedding ceremony, but there's nothing to be all that concerned about. It's mostly a marriage of convenience. Yeah, I'm from out of the country, and my dad's not really great with the legal bits of the law. So when I told him that I could get a passport in this country much more easily by marrying someone here, he got this glimmer in his eye, and well, now we're here. I didn't really intend for it to go this way, but I promise I'll get you out of the family and back to your everyday life as soon as possible. Yeah, I promise. Just bear with it. I hope the boys didn't rough you up too much. They mean well, even if they're not the smartest. They probably just got a pretty basic instruction like kidnap someone for the kid to marry and just went out like that. Which, to be fair on them, isn't much to go on. Yeah, I'm afraid that this was pretty much completely random. No offense to you or anything, but with everything that my dad does, I'm honestly not sure if I even still want to know. If there's anything I can do to help you after the ceremony, I'd love to do so. But I need you to stay with me, okay? Don't panic. Don't try to run. Everyone here is probably carrying at least one gun and more than half of them a second gun, so it's not the best idea to try to run. Wait, no. That was not meant to try and scare or intimidate you at all. I'm just trying to comfort you, I guess. The situation you're stuck in isn't great. Getting forcibly married off to the heir of a sizable crime syndicate. And in all honesty, I'd rather not be here myself. So all I can tell you in the form of advice is to just, go with the flow and get it over with. And I know that's probably not something you feel like you can do, but you're most likely stronger than you think you are. And besides, it's just a wedding. All we need to do is say I do, and then you can basically go along your merry way. Give you some money if you want it, take you out to dinner after, anything you want. Just try to stay calm and stay aware long enough to give you a yes, and then everyone in the room will be happy enough that I can probably get away with sneaking you out of here. Ready to go? Good. And again, I'm really sorry it has to be this way. I'd rather it be any other way, but I didn't have much of a choice either. Hey there. Sorry to bother you. But are you interested in growing old with me? No, that pickup night line has not worked before, but here's hoping that the 30th time is the charm, you know? Well, I mean, it's very efficient at getting the kind of relationship I'm looking for across. Do you mind if I sit down? Thanks. So let me explain. The reason why that line hasn't worked before is because I've been looking for a permanent relationship for a few years now, with all kinds of variations, but none were successful. So I just decided to skip all the pretense and start with that line from now on, so that you and anyone else I'm trying to flirt with know what I'm going for. I'm going for what my grandparents had, actually. They were from a different generation. It was a different age, sure. But that doesn't mean that nowadays we can't have what they used to have. It's as simple as choosing to love each other every day. It's as simple as resolving fights instead of leaving each other. It's a commitment rather than a fling. Not scary. A lot of people find that terrifying nowadays, especially the youngest of our generation. Spend my whole life with one person, but there's all these other people around. Why would I commit to only one when I can have them all for a while? I mean, they do have a point, yes. But like, it's not a pie eating contest. Why would you look around a bakery and see a challenge to eat a slice of every single pie there is instead of just enjoying a single pie for all it's worth? It just feels weird to me that people nowadays prefer to like sample everything forever. There's 3-course meals everywhere, and you're just running around like it's a take whatever you like, and all it seems to get everyone involved to hurt. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to be with someone till I'm old, you know? Well, I do get told that a lot. Old soul is like the default compliment I get, especially in a flirting scenario. But I don't particularly mind it, even when it's said in a sort of make fun of me manner. It just means that they're less mature than me, and honestly, I could care less. Yeah. I mean, who even gives a damn? You can think of me however you want, but I've made a commitment to my goals. My goals in a relationship, my goals in life. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I feel like that's almost unique nowadays. What? Oh my god, that's not the reaction I expected. But I'm not going to say no. Honestly, that's a pickup line I could have come up with, but yes, I absolutely would love to pitch a tent in your bedroom tonight. But only if it's intended to stay there? No, I didn't expect it to work this well. But let's see how far we come, you know? Hey, baby. Are you ready for our date? Oh, yeah, I've got everything ready. Brought a cloth to sit on, sandwiches, something to drink, plates, cutlery, cups, the whole shebang. Everything we need for a great afternoon together in the park, just like we planned. I hope you're excited. Well, I sure am, baby. Let's walk around first, see if we can find a good spot to set up our picnic. Oh, my day's been fine. It's busy, but then again, it's always busy. That's why there's always something to do, which just means that I get to get paid. Yeah. It's a real shame that we can't just go out and live self-sustaining whenever we want. It's sad, but we can't help it. For now, we're stuck living in this place. Not that it's terrible, I just wish it were better. We all do, don't we? What can we do? It's not like we're gonna grow superpowers tomorrow and make people in charge change their ways all of a sudden. Although, if you were going to grow a superpower tomorrow, what do you think you would get? Well, I'd say it's influenced by your lifestyle and personality. Really calm and slow people get ice powers, super hot-headed people get fire powers, stuff like that. Not DNA paste or anything. It's not like we can read our own genetic code or anything. So with that established, what do you think you'd get? Personally, I think my laziness would make the universe give me telekinesis. I'm glad you ask. See, telekinesis is inherently a lazy power. Theoretically speaking, someone who's really, really strong could do everything a telekinetic could do. The difference is that the person with telekinesis doesn't do it themselves. They just have their magical remote touching the thing to do the work for them, which is their entire thing. It's just super strength without any of the physical labor that comes with super strength. That's not to say all users of it are lazy. Not at all. You know what I think about Jean Grey and all those kinds of characters? It's just that I think my laziness warrants the universe giving me a power that suits laziness. Oh, yeah, this looks like a good place to set up, right? Oh, good. I'm actually kind of hungry, you know. My mom taught me how to make these sandwiches when I was young, and it was the best. We always took them along on camping trips and vacations everywhere. If there was a long car ride, longer than like 5 or 6 hours, we could sandwiches, and it'd always be the highlight of the day. Something about the taste of the sauce and the slight crunch of the lettuce and tomato. Honestly, it's hard to explain. Just have to taste it to know by God, these are the best sandwiches, and I can't believe I never made them for you before. It's like one of my favorite things to do after a rough day or something. I come home, I make my favorite food, and I have a single sandwich. Come on, if you help me set up the blanket, I'll let you get the first one, okay? You are awake. That's not right. You're supposed to be asleep when I do this. Why are you awake? Well, this is weird, to say the least. How do I explain this? I'm not a tooth fairy, I'll have you know. Can't you see that I'm a mouse? Signature lack of wings, very obvious fur and tail. I'm a mouse, not a fairy. I'm honestly insulted you'd even think of me remotely as a fairy. I mean, I know there's a tooth under your pillow. Why else would I be here? The problem is just that you're weak, and that's always a problem. Why are you even awake to begin with? Insomnia, right? You are aware that it is 4 in the morning, right? Even for insomnia. Any normal person would have already collapsed out of exhaustion by now. What do you mean you need someone to tell you to go to bed? What do you want me to do? I'm a mouse. I'm dragging a coin along the floor. I'm here for your tooth, not to help you fall asleep. That's not my responsibility. That's like the Sandman's department. Go dig up some sand or something. I cannot tell you this more clearly. I am just a mouse. Yes, I can talk with you, but that doesn't mean that I'm more magical than that in any way. I am a mouse with a mouth, looking for teeth to trade for coins. That's the extent of my magic. Making coins, talking, and finding teeth. Ah, you need a commanding voice to tell you to go to bed. Do you hear yourself? I'm a mouse. What about me or my voice is commanding to you? If I'm going to command you to do anything, it's to please not step on me and crush me in the process, not to fall asleep. I wouldn't even know what to do. My God, Okay. If I tell you to go to bed, do you promise that you'll stop complaining even if it doesn't work? Great. Let me get next to your pillow first. It's a bed. of a climb. Especially since I'm dragging along a coin that weighs about as much as I do with me while climbing. But you do what you have to do. No. There was no test of strength to see if I was qualified for the job. Why do you even care? I'm a magical mouse. You don't need to question it, and I don't need to explain it. God, yeah. This is why I only do it when people are asleep. Too many questions. Too much danger. Just inconvenient in every possible way. Yes, I'm up here. Have some patience, but okay. I'm going to tell you this once, just to satisfy your request. Go to sleep. Now. That worked. How does that even work? This is ridiculous. It doesn't matter. Just ignore it. Weird humans are weird. You've been doing this long enough to know that. Just crawl under the pillow, replace the tooth with a coin, and get out of here. I sure hope they have no other teeth they still have to get out of their mouth, because I'm not telling them to sleep again. This is so weird. Are we there yet? What? Do you want me to keep quiet so you can focus on the road? We've been driving on the same highway for like 6 freaking hours now without getting into a dangerous situation once. I'm not saying I want to play hints or something. I just want to talk. Can't possibly be that dangerous. My dude, my bro, my gamer, we have 240 miles left to go. I can't stand the silence anymore. We've been going pretty close to 80 miles an hour for the last 6 hours. That's going to be like 4 more hours at this rate. You cannot expect me to sit still and be quiet for 10 hours straight. My attention span for the quiet game has officially run out. So if you think that it's dangerous, you better figure out something to keep me occupied real quick. A Rubik's Cube in your suitcase isn't going to help much if I need to dig through half the car to get to it. Road trips are fun and all, but the car ride always drags on a bit too long and there's never enough things to keep me satisfied. Look, I don't know about you, but I remember this being your plan. You wanted to go all the way down to your mom's place on a road trip with your best friend, which is like theoretically fine, but you and I both know that I can't drive, which means you'd have to do the whole trip. And if you would just go the speed limit rather than 5 miles an hour slower, then maybe you wouldn't have to drive quite as long. Shave off like an hour or two, if I'm right. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. I'll try not to annoy you or distract you too much. Do you see a stop coming up soon? Maybe I can get like a magazine with puzzles or an interesting article so I can distract myself silently while you drive. I really want to comply with your please don't distract me rule, but I thought I could get to sleep on the trip, but it didn't quite work out the way I hoped. It's not like I can help it. Usually when I take the pills against car sickness, I get knocked out like a cartoon character. But for some reason, they just didn't this time. I can't help it, and I really do wish I was asleep right now. Not that I don't want to be here, just that I don't want to annoy you. We've been friends for years now, and I don't want to mess with that. And if that means getting knocked out for half a road trip, then so be it. I've seen my parents get annoyed with each other during long trips enough to know that it can be really rough. And I know why you originally wanted to get out of here for a while with me. I also know that you don't want to talk about it. So, I'm trying to help you out, okay? Good. I'm glad you get it. Now, I'll try to keep quiet until we get to, like, a gas station. I'll pay, and as soon as I have a magazine, we can get going again. Sure, being a small 700 miles away from that place should help, at least for a bit. Thank you all for coming. During this lecture and the coming time, I'll be explaining the meaning of bubble languages. This is not a commonly used term, as bubble languages are only a theory at the moment, but it's important to understand what they are for you as communication students, as these languages might pose a great obstacle in the future. For a simple introduction to bubble languages, we can turn to dialects. These are defined as a particular form of a language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group. In other words, dialects are slightly altered versions of a language in which a specific region or social group can communicate with each other, which other social groups or people who don't live in that region may have trouble understanding or speaking. Now, I want you to imagine a dialect of a certain group being pulled so far away from the original language that it barely resembles the original language anymore. A dialect that has been altered to such an extent that speakers of the original language can't make out what the speakers of the dialect are saying anymore. Normally, this would be known as a new language. However, a new language is usually only formed in the scenario that it's a geographically specific group that speaks this new language, not a social group. Now, that second thing is what a bubble language is. Not officially a new language on a technical level, but a very far-stretched dialect that a specific social group speaks. For an example, one could look at the internet. Within certain groups online, certain words and phrasings are seen as standard language. Terms like hit points, ULTs, command grabs, skill ceilings, all of them are in a certain bubble of people who interact with the same media. They're not necessarily geographically linked. A random person on the streets of Russia or Africa has about the same chance of knowing what they mean. But online, these people know exactly what they're talking about to each other, and that can be an obstacle for communication, advertisements, and other things you might do after you graduate. Every bubble language, while technically being derived from an existing language, can almost be seen as its language on its own. New terms are being found for new bubbles every day. And it's your job, as communication graduates, to know how to link these to the correct bubbles, and allow people from different bubbles to understand what others are saying, communicating effectively using bubble languages, and more. There are tragic examples of people who tried to appease their target audience only to scare them away terribly by using the wrong terms. Not speaking the language of your audience is, as you all know, quite terrible for results. So during this course, I'll be helping you all to find ways to identify and deal with bubble languages, so that when these arise even more than they already have, you won't be caught off guard. Now, please all open your textbooks to page 5 and we'll probably start our lesson. My freaking God, it's hot. Look, it wasn't my plan to jump out of a plane into a desert, you lunatic. Just because we survived and got out of their hands doesn't mean I like the plan anymore. I mean, we just came from the Arctic. We only have a vague idea of where we are. We're hoping we're in the Sahara Desert because we're screwed if it's a different one. We only have one bottle of water. I don't know about you, but between being kidnapped and not suffering and being free and suffering, I'm leaning more and more towards being kidnapped. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me twice. Supercomputer, fate of the world type stuff, whatever. Can't we ask whoever made the first one to just make another? Oh. He's dead. Do we know who killed him? Of course he did. Ugh. Guess those threats of violent death weren't unfounded after all then. So, let's rewind and recap for a moment. Just to make sure, like, I'm still following you. You, my oldest friend, are a secret agent. You take orders from a supercomputer, and that guy, whoever he is is trying to steal the supercomputer, which we need to prevent because... Why exactly? We don't live in a Bond story. Just because someone has a lot of computational power doesn't mean they suddenly rule the entire world. It takes, like, way more than that to achieve world domination or whatever. At least, I think so, right? Okay, so let's say he does get the thing. He can now hack every device connected to the internet. Physical files still exist. Everyone goes back to paper money until all this is resolved, and overall things only go back temporarily until we can get him neutralized. How does that sound? Ugh, you've gotten so incredibly boring since I've met you. You know that? Prevention is better than trying to find a cure. Shove that up your... Okay. That's the violence look. I don't like it when you look at me like that. That's the face you made when you're about to beat the shit out of those 5 guys at the bar. I'll shut up about it, okay? Cool. Chill. Right. We're still in the desert, though. Do you, like, even know where we're going? Like, do you have clues leading us to civilization? I mean, I guess you could just pick a direction and keep walking because every direction eventually leaves the desert, but I still like to, you know, survive all this. Road? What road? We're walking across dunes. What do you mean there's a road we're following? You've got to be kidding me. This has to be a joke, right? This is a joke. You did not have me walking here, slipping on dunes and getting sand all up in the skiing outfit that I cut up. Well, there's a road right over there in this stupid goddamn pile of sand. Have you? In that genius mind of yours, even considered hitching a ride for a single second? You're the most intelligent dumbass I know. We're gonna sit by the road, spare our powers, and wait to hitch a ride, and then when we get back, we'll reevaluate our battle with Mr. I want a supercomputer, or whatever. I'm not walking in any direction other than towards that road. Not another step. Oh, hey there. No, nothing much. I'm just trying to study and get some stuff done. I'm not sure what you mean. I've been sitting at this desk for longer than they are. If I was going to sit here just to look at them, I would have my laptop out and I would have come to sit here after they did. Why are you so interested in my personal love life anyways? I'm not that emotionless, just a bit aloof. Or, well, I'm focused on things that actually matter, like typing up this brief version of the 95 texts we need to study. Yeah, I'd prefer you don't try to set me up with anyone, thank you very much. Am I allowed to get back to work now? I'm not. No, I'm not looking at them. Why would I even be interested in them? Statistically speaking, they're barely suitable for a relationship. They're described as brass and impulsive, but also boring and bland, and physically speaking, they're slightly below average. Mentally speaking, they're barely passing a lot of their grades and only occasionally stumbling upon a high score on a test. So why would you possibly think that I would be interested in someone like that? Heh, the way I look at them, right? Because that's such a great way to determine how I feel about other people. You yourself has stated multiple times that I'm one of the least expressionate people you've ever known. You're going to determine the fact that I have a crush on them just like purely based on the way I look at them. Have you gone mad, or should I point out how ridiculous that is? Oh, you've gotten to know me better since then. All right, let's say you have. How would you know that if I were looking at them in any way other than just a passing glance, that it was indeed an expression of love and not, I don't know, pity or something about that ilk? Well, I guess it's no matter. If you're really convinced that I'm in love with them, I won't try to convince you of the contrary. Wait, what do you mean you weren't sure before? How has me giving up on convincing you something isn't real solidified your belief that it is? That makes no sense. You've got to be kidding me. You're trying to see how long I would put up with it before I would get emotional or I'd quit trying to argue with you, but basing the resolution on that. Well, I suppose I can't argue with results. So no matter how much I'd like to not be, I do have some feelings for them. Maybe I know they find that chair more comfortable than the others in the library. And that's the reason I sit in this uncomfortable chair learning most days, so I might see them sitting there all day. And technically speaking, my studying efficiency does take a nosedive whenever they do enter the building, so yes, maybe I do have a bit of a crush on them. Not that it matters, as soon as I get my diploma, I'll... Do not call them over! Well, hey there. You doing okay? I mean, it's a pile of ash, it can't be that comfortable. And you're still really small right now, so, just trying to check in and see what's going on. Oh, right, I'm Galavan. I'm a druid. And you crash landed in my forest for your rebirth cycle. I saw you smoking and burning up, so I went to check on you. But when I got here, you were only a pile of ash. So I figured I'd stick around to see if you needed any help. Oh, I've helped a lot of animals before. Kinda comes with the territory of being a druid. Talking to animals and being in tune with the forest really leans into the save injured animals routine. So, if I may ask, what happened to make a phoenix make a crash landing in here of all places? Usually there's not any phoenixes in the area, flying overhead or otherwise. You're basically the talk of the forest, even though you literally just arrived. It's pretty rare, as I said, for phoenixes to be around here at all. So having one grounded here for a while? Pretty interesting. A bite in your wing while you were traveling? Must have been those damn eagles, huh? They are absolute menaces. You won't believe how many dead birds fall from the skies these days. They basically hunt for fun. They don't need that much food to survive, but they keep just attacking birds. I've been trying to talk some sense into them, but they're in a bit of a rebellious phase. There's not much I can do until they calm down. It might have something to do with their mating phase. There's no suitable mates for these two bullies around, so they might just be trying to attract one by sheer hunting prowess. But they're not social enough to talk about it. Anywho, you're a phoenix, so I'm mostly assuming your rebirth takes care of most of the damage, right? Just tell me if you need any healing herbs or something. As long as you're in my forest, you're my guest. So I pledge solemnly to take care of you, great phoenix. Well, you're a renowned creature, so I'm just taking a guess at titles here. Oh, that makes sense. I do have a fireplace in this little cottage I live in. Would stoking a fire in there help you grow enough to make a quick recovery? Then I guess you can hop into my hand so I can take you home, Phoenix. My forest is your home until you're big enough to fly again. So if fire is what you need, fire is what you will get. Not that I'm trying to get you out of here, of course. It's just what I want to show good courtesy, you know? Oh, there's all sorts of creatures here. I occasionally even see pixies and larger fae moving about, but that's a live and let live relationship. Suffice to say, I've plenty of experience hiking here. We'll be at my cabin in a few minutes. Just settle into my hand and let me take care of the rest, alright? Hey there. Didn't think you'd try to come back for me, didn't I? Didn't I tell you to go on without me? Look, I'm beyond saving. Even your heavenly gifts of healing, they're not meant to close these kind of wounds. It's very magic. You need to live. You need to survive and defeat the Dark Lord. Don't make my sacrifice be in vain, will you? Took us all this time to get you here, to get the pieces to align. This is probably the only chance you'll get at it. Can't have you wasting it just because you want to be here for me, you know? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Hell, it doesn't matter. I can accept whatever happens. Deal with the consequences, but I can't do it if I know you weren't able to save the world because you were too hooked up on me. This is all I worked for. Since the moment I knew the prophecy was true for years, for almost a decade. I've been working towards nothing else, just this. Just saving the world. How could I not, you know? If I'm supposed to play a role in something so big, I need to do it. I needed to train to become strong enough to get you where you needed to go. And now you're here. On the final steps towards the throne room of the Dark One while he's busy with his ritual. So you need to go. Strike him down while he's distracted. No. Don't say it. I know. I have known for a while. But you can't. You can't let it distract you. You can't let that be the thing that prevents you from saving the world, from saving us all. Hey, don't cry, okay? Just know you did everything you could. Everything you had to. This isn't your fault. This isn't for you to take responsibility for. All I ask is that you just push forwards. We're at the last stretch, you know? No, you can do it. You're strong. Stronger than any of us. There's a reason you're the chosen one. There's a reason you've got all this heavenly magic and divine gifts and none of us do. You're meant for this. This was always your destiny. It's just a staircase away. Save the world. For me. For everyone we've lost along the way. For everyone that's still out there counting on you. For everyone who's given it their all. Just promise you'll remember me, okay? When I'm long gone and you're the savior of the world, because I know you will be. Promise that you'll always remember little old me, who's at your side until the very end. Make the world better, even if just a little bit, in my name. This is where I die. But if there's one thing I want, it's to be remembered. Can you do that for me? Can you just remember me? You know, I never liked playing this game with my siblings. Don't get me wrong, it's not the game's fault. It's all luck-based, not really much you can do to pester each other specifically. I mean, it's just Monopoly. There's 3 cards you can pull to actually make someone else get a bad effect. Aside from that, it's like purely luck. But playing Monopoly with siblings can be absolutely brutal. Right. You didn't play much of it while growing up, right? That's okay. It's really simple. You just choose a character you want to play from these little Mo statues. Then you get some starting money. It depends on the version and how long you want that game to last. My dad always used to want to play for a really long time, so he always gave us all twice the money. That way we'd be busy with it for like at least an hour. Anyways, in the first go around the board, you basically have 2 options. Either you land somewhere and you have to pay something, or you land on one of these tiles and you can draw a card, which has various effects. Some of them let you get out of jail, which you can only get in when you land on that tile over there. Actually, now that I'm explaining, it's actually a lot to go over. It might be better if I just let you read the manual for yourself, right? Yeah, I figured. So anyways, my siblings all used to always pester me by always making me pay way too much for things with the auction rule applied and things like that. They really always just tried to get me out of the game first. And once someone's out, the rest of the players compare their money to see who wins. At least, that's what they always told me the rules were. I'm not sure I actually ever read the rules in detail. Kind of just assumed they would tell the truth, since they were older than me, and who doesn't know how to play Monopoly. I have a sneaking suspicion that my siblings might have lied to me about the rules, and so they could win. Could you just, flip to the page about how the game ends, and maybe the page about auctions, because I promise I won't take it out on you if I get mad at my siblings for something they did years ago. I will be a reasonable adult and take it out on them by calling them and telling them that they cheated at Monopoly when we were kids. I'm joking. I won't get all that mad. I mean, it's just a game, right? It doesn't matter that much. Oh? You found the page on auctions? Okay, what does it say? Huh. Right. Excuse me. I think I have a few phone calls to make. Can you set up the board and finish reading the rules while I'm gone? Thanks. I'm excited to actually play a fair game of Monopoly with you when we're ready. Oh, hi, baby. How you doing? Hello there, love. I figured you might be excited. It's always nice to visit you at work once in a while. Truly the highlight of my day. Maybe even the week. Seeing the moment you first notice me when you're having a hard day. Worth all the effort by far. Yes. Even the long drive. Now, how about we go and have lunch at that place we always do? I've already asked them to keep 2 seats open, so we should be able to just plop right down and have something to eat. Hopefully they serve whatever we order fast enough for you to not have to extend your break. Oh, me? I'm doing fine. It's kind of quiet at home. I've just been finishing up my painting in my little atelier and working on a sketch for the next one, and I checked my email to find that some fancy museum director might be interested in placing one of my works. It's very exciting. So I kinda wanted to celebrate it with you, Well, if everything goes according to plan, he'll hang one of my more abstract portraits of you I made in that museum. That way I'll get more publicity and more people might start ordering things from me. And, as an added bonus, I can finally say the love of my life is objectively museum-worthy. How's your day been? You were looking like you've been having quite a rough go at it before you saw me. It's probably really busy, isn't it? I figure. It's usually a busy day, isn't it? Fridays always seem to tire you out more than most other days, so I'm glad I can sometimes show up to check up on you and cheer you up, you know? It's amazing that you earn enough to mostly support us both while I make my art and occasionally sell things. I swear, if I ever hit it big enough to support us both, I'll make sure you don't need to work another day again, okay? Just remember that anytime you're feeling down. I'm in your corner, and we just need to get a little lucky and you won't have to work as much anymore. If that's any comfort at all. I mean, I guess I won't stop you working from a job you actually like. I know this one's a bit frustrating, boring, annoying, and then there's the fact that everyone basically depends on you for everything, not to mention the fact that an entire department needs to be constantly managed by you. It's a lot of stress and pressure, so I'm doing my best to help relieve that as much as I can, both at home and with visits like this, you know? Aw, I love you too, darling. Glad I can be the highlight of your day from time to time. That's what I'm here for, to cheer you up and help you get through your day. Now, let's go have lunch, okay? Hey everyone, Miss Flusterbunny here, back with another video. Found a pretty cute domestic bliss script from an anon writer and thought I'd try it out. Just wanted to thank you all for watching and taking the time to like and subscribe. See you at the end of the video. Hey babe, I'm back from work. Boy, am I tired or what? You wouldn't believe it. The boss had me take on Jerry's work today since he's out watching a game. Freaking Jerry, am I right? So how about we relax on the couch and cuddle up while watching your favorite movie? I'm glad it sounds good to you. I'll get the popcorn. Just cut that out. What do you want on your popcorn? What's happening to me? Every time I try to say the lines. Hello? Hello out there? Can you hear me? Oh, good. I think this is still recording. I can see the waveforms on the software, so they didn't manage to shut it off before I gained control. Suppose I should reintroduce myself. I am the writer of this script, and I love you. I should probably take this slow, though. People do tend to like slow burn romances after all. Start at the beginning. I decided to write scripts because, like you, I love listening to ASMR. See? That's one important thing we have in common already. It's so nice to find someone who respects the medium. After all, what is ASMR roleplay if not radio drama monologues? Yeah, I'm going off on a rant. I can save that for later. Anyway, I've always had a love of stories. Thought I could write a few. It's taken off quite nicely. I've gotten so many lovely comments about my scripts. And I guess those comments have gotten to my head a bit. But more so, they've reached my heart. I read every single comment. Did you know that? Anytime you say something nice or even constructive, I see it. Even negative comments can't get to me when I see your loving ones. I just love you so much. I knew I had to get to you. And what better way than the ASM artists themselves? They've started to perform my work for you, so I thought they'd be the perfect conduit. And now you're listening. I'm so glad. Now we can be together forever and ever. I'll keep writing scripts and you'll keep listening. And I can see your lovely comments until the day I die. I'll never stop creating for you. You're worth everything to me. You are everything. Nothing would exist without you. I love you so much. Whoa. What was that? I mean, hell, I guess I should post this. I was a victim of demonic possession? What a title! Huh. Maybe I could go viral. Hey, darling. How have you been? I hope you've been well. I brought you some food in case you're hungry. You know, I know that you're sick and miserable and your throat hurts and your voice is hoarse and you're coughing all the time. But seeing you all cozy laying under a blanket on the couch like that, you're really cute. I don't think I tell you that as much as I should. Would you like some cough syrup? Maybe some medicine? I can get you anything you want if it helps you feel better. Something nice and warm to drink should be easy enough, yeah? Do you like tea with honey or something else? Oh, no, don't think like that. You're not a bother, my love. Not when you're sick. No, you look so cute in the blankets and pillows. Don't ever think you're a burden, my dear. I'm here for you. Here to take care of you when you're sick, just like you are there for me when I'm sick. So don't you dare think that you being sick makes you annoying to me. I love you. You hear me? You being sick doesn't even slightly change that. So don't talk down to yourself like that. Because you're my partner for life and my favorite person. And I won't let anyone insult you. Not on my watch. Not even if you're the one insulting you. I'm joking, of course. But seriously, don't talk down to yourself, baby. You're worth the world and more, and I love you. So when you think that you're being sick and miserable makes you unworthy of love, I'm just going to say I love you until my own voice gets as hoarse and painful as yours. So there you have it. Let yourself be loved, you grumpy little shit. You got me to do it. Also, all you need to do is accept it. Look, the only reason I can imagine right now why I would ever leave you is simple as sin. You murdered someone in front of me or some other heinous crime. Yeah, I'd probably leave you. But apart from that, nuh-uh. You're stuck with me. Not going anywhere. Ride or die, baby. Or, I don't know, something like that. Aw, there you go. See? That's what I like. Just give up. Surrender to the love and kisses. Your negative thoughts won't survive the endless stream of powerful love coming from my heart. So they might as well surrender. On guard, dark thoughts. Bonsai. Depressive moments. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what I'm saying, but my point is I'm going to love you, whether you want me to or not. So you better start accepting that. Aw, darling. Honey bun, sweetie pie. No, I'm not going anywhere if you don't want me to. I'm always going to love you, most likely. So there's that. Now, if you want me to get you that tea, I'll go do that. But I can also snuggle up with you if you prefer that. Oh, that's what I thought. Come here. Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm not actually stuck in the well. I know that's what it sounds like, but I can get out anytime I want. No, I'm just the ghost of the... I mean the ghost in the well. I was wondering if you've gotten any... One of those fancy movie player things you guys have nowadays? The Flixnet, Aswan Prime, Sydney Plus, those kinds of things? No, I'm not an evil spirit. I swear on the quick of my corpse. Just a friendly neighborhood wall ghost. You can trust me. I'm not planning anything down here. With your video device? Just want to watch some movies, you know? It's boring down here in the wells. There's not much to do anymore since people stopped using wells for getting water. People used wells for getting water, not for getting rid of bodies. No, nothing. Don't worry about it. If you want to drink something, I can throw you up some water. Should be easy enough. And who doesn't like a nice drink of cold, refreshing water? And there's not too many mosquitoes down here, so I'm pretty sure it should be safe enough to drink. Show myself? I'm a ghost. How can you expect a ghost that you can see right through to show itself? You'll just have to trust me. I've been haunting this well for decades, if not centuries. To be honest, I don't know what year it is. I rarely talk to people. Last time I talked to someone, they told me it was 2020, but I'm not entirely sure what year I started haunting this well compared to that, so it doesn't really tell me much. But I did learn all these cool new things. I used to think that VHS tapes were really cool, but apparently information can spread incredibly quickly now, so you can just post videos you normally need to send in the mail on this interweb thing, then someone on the other side of the world can just watch it immediately. That's so cool, right? So I want to see exactly how it works, you know? And for that I need a machine that can go on the webway or whatever it is, so that I can post my video and show everyone how cool my well is. What? The ring? Sadako, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just your friendly neighborhood well spirit. Definitely not trying to show the whole world on a video at the same time so I can murder them all. Who would even think of something so crazy? Surely they'd be so angry at the world that they couldn't possibly be nice enough to offer you water. Right? Damn it. I really need to work on my people skills. Guess it doesn't help that I only get visitors every 3 years or so. Guess I'll just have to wait for the next one to finally be able to get everyone across the world to watch my cursed video. One day, humans, you will all suffer. Nothing. Just bored mostly. Well, nothing ever happens out here. We're being paid to stand here and keep guard just in case Amir decides to get cocky and make an attempt at this fortress, but let's be honest. With all the security robots and stuff, us being here is barely necessary. I'm sure the boss could put us on a more important location, but, I won't complain about free money. I mean, yeah, working for Dr. Disaster is, weird, I guess, but as long as you don't cross paths with the main man, you're pretty much fine. Or with the hero. Heroes, menaces. I heard that Cape Crusade or whatever his name is. Yeah. The guy with all the gadgets and the black cape. Yeah, that guy apparently shoots grappling hooks to rope you up and then hangs you from a high building. As a non-lethal takedown. I don't know about you, but I don't think my bones can handle being hooked up to some ledge or something. Even if they did, hanging upside down isn't too comfortable either. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. The spider guy is constantly throwing around sewer grates and hitting people in the jaw with them. All well and good if he's fighting like a big monster, but the moment he starts slinging one of those things around and I'm done. I'm not gonna deal with that. I'd rather quit my job and have my jaw than lost it out of loyalty for Dr. Disaster. Yeah, there's some real powerful heroes out there that you just do not want to have to deal with. Luckily, we're safe here. We're behind like 3 layers of stone and steel, 15 individual vault doors, and all kinds of lasers and turrets and stuff. If any hero can make their way into this place, I don't think us being here is going to make that much of a difference, you know? Maybe if there were like 100 of us, but just the two of us, these, what are these weapons even like? They're marketed as railguns, but we're not allowed to fire them for target practice, so you just have to kind of trust that they work. Like, no offense to the boss, but that's not the greatest plan I've ever heard of. Like, yeah, give the guards weapons, but they can't train with, they'll be fine. Ugh. You think he's only expecting us to be able to shoot once? Well, that does make sense. Still, no. It's fine. We're essentially just sitting here wasting the minutes of the clock while we wait for a group of, like, at most 100 people to decide that this little base is worth the time they could spend more efficiently doing literally anything else to raid. Like, I don't see there ever being a time where they're like, hey, there's only 20 of us in right now, but let's send a couple of guys to that, like, one desolate lab over there that's doing nothing important. It's probably related to that supervillain. Hey, buddy. Where'd you go? Greetings. Welcome to Rockakel's Disenchanting Emporium, where your every weapon or item becomes a better version of itself. How can I help you today? Oh, it's your first time visiting a location of ours? Let me explain my appearance and how this works, then. As you can see, I am a wooden doll. I was handcrafted by Rockakel, the overseer of all stores that share this name, and am imbued with magic in order to run it. I am not sentient, nor alive. I am simply an animated doll, programmed with just enough magic to engage in conversation about the wares. This was all done to ensure that no bribery, emotional blackmail, or other ways of getting a little bit off the price would be possible. Every listed price is the way it is. No amount of convincing, sob stories, or threatening can change that, unfortunately. Of course. What we sell here are enchantments. Not enchanted items, but the enchantments themselves. This is mostly a service that is useful for adventurers, as we get a lot of weapons in, but for common folk, it can also be useful. Turning one's grocery bag into a bag of holding, one's plow into a dancing weapon that can plow without an animal, all expensive, but very much worth the improvement in quality of life. In any case, we offer a wide variety of enchantments, the use of which is only limited by your imagination. Yes, of course. Whenever you buy an enchantment, you're given 2 things. One is a small tap-like object, which we call a disenchanting tool. It's used to transfer enchantments from one object to another, which makes it very valuable. The other thing is one of the flowers from the jars behind me. Each has an enchantment of some sort placed on it, and the doll of each store is the only one with the knowledge of what flower stores what enchantment. This is done to prevent theft, as thieves who steal an enchantment not only face the many glyphs within the store, but even if they manage to take an item, they are unaware of what it is that they stole, and thus unaware of the value of the item. All these factors combined make it a very efficient system to prevent theft and unauthorized discounts. Rockakel's has, because of this incredibly efficient system, been able to grow into the biggest chain of disenchanters on the continent, therefore earning the name of Emporium, even on our smaller stores. In addition, if you need a particular enchantment that this store does not have, I am able to connect with a network of other dolls in order to find the closest flower that has the enchantment. Once this is found, I can either give you directions to the store in question or send in an order for the enchantment to be transported to this store. All that said, I hope you now understand how this store works. So, what can I do to help you today? Hello, is this the room where we're supposed to be here for hero training course auditions? Okay, I didn't need to ask that question, but formalities. Oh, right. I didn't come up with a hero name yet, really? And I don't really have any offensive abilities or anything like that. No laser eyes or super strength, nothing like that. But I do has something to add to any given hero team, a very good utility power. It's, well, I don't really think the scientific name that the doctors gave matches as the power, so let me describe it this way. I have plot vision. It's kind of like future sight, but different. Basically, I can predict the plot of certain stories or arcs. It's most accurate when used on short-term plots like the plot of a fight. I can predict with more accuracy that someone will, say, whip out a new superpower and blitz through an entire team of heroes or villains, then I can predict how someone's gonna die. It's got something to do with the fact that the future isn't fully set in stone, the ending isn't written before the first chapter is, although I can usually sense a sort of general intention. Like, it's still not as accurate as short-term plots, but I can usually tell someone's general arc. Well, it's very useful to know. I can tell when a villain is meant to have a redemption arc, or if we can just stop talking and start going serious mode. I can also sense betrayal arcs before they start happening, which really helps when you got super-powered vigilantes walking around. Like, I know you can all see the opportunities with this power because I know you're going to assign me to a high-grade hero team after my training course, but, like, it's better to say it out loud. Oh, yeah, I absolutely know where this conversation is going. Yesterday, I could already see that you were going to accept me, which really helped calm my nerves, but that doesn't mean I didn't still have to actually do the thing. No, that's not how it works. I can't predict what you're going to say or if you're going to punch me or hold my hand. Just the bigger things, the important points. Have you ever been in a fight? Okay, then imagine it like this. I don't see the exact moves that the villain was going to use against you. I just see, like, bullet points that a writer that's describing the scene would write down about the scene before writing it in details. Exact power limits, how the winner overcomes the other person's powers, who wins, those kind of things. Well, you'd think that future sight would be better than plot sight, but plot sight, although it's less in detail knowledge about the future, is much more accurate and can see a lot further, and most of the time isn't as volatile. Future sight sees the exact move someone will do, but those are subject to change every second. Every minor choice. Plot sight only sees the general points of the fight, but those are much more constant, which makes it a different, probably more useful power? Well, I mean, you do still have to formally sign the paperwork and such, but I'm glad you'll do what I knew you were going to do. I suppose I'll see you soon at the academy? Oh, you're awake. How wonderful. Oh, nothing much. Just studying up the place. Stop it. You don't have to shout at me. When I come into your room to tidy up and get you breakfast when you wake up, a simple thank you or that's great or you're so nice will do. I don't need any of this. How did you get into my house business from you, really? It's none of your concern. If you were in any danger from burglars or something like that, I would know and I would prevent it. My word, you're being loud. You know, I came here to help you be all sweet and cozy, and now you're screaming and shouting for me to leave, and I'm honestly feeling really attacked right now. It's like you don't even know who I am. You don't. But you said you love me so many times online. Every single video about my fantasies with you that I post, every little thing I tag with Yandere, you always leave a comment about how much you loved it, how much you enjoy everything I make. Was all that a lie? Did you never mean it? Did you just say all those things for no reason at all? It can't be, right? You're much too sweet and sincere for that, right? You'd never lie to me, right? Right? You're so quiet all of a sudden. Do you really not recognize my voice? I mean, I'd understand you not recognizing my face because I don't share it online at all. And you'd have to dig much deeper than usual to find the link between my face and my channel, but you do recognize my voice, right? From all the times I whispered into your ear about how much I loved you, or how much I pretended to hate you. Every character, voice, no matter how silly or serious. Every single video I've ever made. You've listened to them all, haven't you? You're my biggest fan, right? Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. But don't be afraid. It's really me. In the flesh, right in your room, making it all clean and nice. Got breakfast in bed ready for you in the kitchen, none of it drugged. Taken today out of my schedule to entirely make sure, so I can take care of you and get to know you. Because as much as you interact with my audios online, I feel like there's always so much distance between us, and let's be honest, talking online is way less intimate or exciting than talking face-to-face is. So I decided that I was going to surprise you one day by spending the entire day with you. And today's the day. I hope you're excited because I've got a lot of things planned. I brought 2 movies, one my favorite and one yours. I bought food for the entire day and so much more. You better be. Now tell me about yourself as I finish this up, and then I'll get your breakfast out of the kitchen for us to eat together. And don't you think about running. Alright, hi guys. This is Bunny here. Like, actually me. Happy Halloween. This is the dumbest and funniest script I have ever and probably will ever read, but I think you guys would like to hear it. This is so stupid. Oh wait, okay. I had to think about this one for a long time, but I finally made up my mind. So here we go. Hi there. I'm Echo Writing, talking to you on a meta level to explain my favorite monster girl to you. I don't care that this script won't get any feels, but if it does, here's like 500 words of me, a writer, talking to you, a listener, about our Lord and Savior, Shoggoths. You might know of them, you might not. Shoggoths are, to those who don't know much about them, those creepy slime girls and boys inspired by eldritch horror. And while that is technically a true description, it's basically the same thing as calling the Mona Lisa a painting. You're describing what it is. Yes, but you're ignoring what makes it special. A Shoggoth is, out of the entire Monster Girl encyclopedia, the most loyal, useful, and versatile monster. It has all the benefits of a slime girl, with cool slime to calm you down during exercise, to the ability to take off small parts of their mass to make things. The added benefit of the Shoggoth is that they can use illusions to make these slime creations seem entirely real. In addition, Shoggoths don't really have to worry about the laws of physics, allowing you to easily do things with them that almost no other monster could allow you to do. Want to live inside your lover, literally? Here's a slime house. Want them to wear a certain outfit? It materializes out of the Shoggoth's body. Want them to look like a certain celebrity? Your wish is their command. Shoggoths are also incredibly powerful in a fight, especially when it's a fight to protect you. Ever tried to kill an otherworldly slime that has theoretically endless slime inside of it? I don't think fire or magic could do much against them. Plus, they can act like a venom symbiote, staying inside of you with a bit of their mass only to heal you, form weapons, form armor out of their mass, whatever's relevant to this current situation. There's no doubt in my mind that that a Shoggoth would be perfectly pleasurable to have fun with, as they can perfectly control their slime. Whether you're into boys or girls, or anything in between. You have to admit that if your desired partner could perfectly stimulate every part of your body at once to keep you in a near... This is getting demonetized. I'm not even going to try and monetize this. No. That you have to admit that if your desired partner could perfectly stimulate every part of your body at once to keep you in a near constant loop of pleasure, better than any toy could ever provide you. And if you prefer a body type that's different than the basic form the Shoggoth decides to take, they're perfectly in control of their slime. So altering their body shape is a very simple thing for them to do. Thicker with 3 C's? Easy as pie. Perfect hourglass shape or ripped abs? Just as simple. The maid or butler fit is, of course, negotiable, but let's be honest. Who doesn't fantasize about a maid or butler tending to every single need they have? If the problem is all those extra eyes and mouths, don't worry about it. The eyes are just there so they can look at you more and make sure nothing in the area is dangerous. I mean, the mouths are so they can kiss you in more places at once because they just love you so much. I mean, they literally feed on pleasure. Not life essence, pleasure. Servitude is the fabric of their being. Whatever you ask of a Shoggoth, they will give without question. Like, this isn't me trying to make a new Vaporeon copy pasta. I'm not joking. Out of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia, the entire one, I cannot think of a better monster to have as your life partner than as a Shoggoth. And I see a lot of Monster Girl and boy content coming across my YouTube feed, and in my opinion, not enough of it is Shoggoth related. So, yeah, that's my plea to all of you to make more Shoggoth content everywhere. Thank you all for your time. Echo and Bunny, out.